Do you find yourself wanting to enjoy fresh sweet corn year round, but you're not sure where to begin? Well, I have got you covered because that's exactly what we are going to talk about today on Tasty Tidbits with Tiff. As you hop on, I would love for you to say hi in the comments and where you are watching from. Whether this is your first Tasty Tidbits with Tiff or you have seen and joined us for many, welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Tiffany, and I help busy millennials who feel overwhelmed in the kitchen learn new skills to create quick, healthy meals with wine pairings. Shoot me a message on your preferred social media platform with the word wine, and I will hook you up with my free food and wine pairing guide so you can elevate your next meal. And for those of you that are joining on YouTube today, you can find that link in the description below. If you have other friends that love sweet corn, be sure to hit that share button and share this video with them so they don't miss out either. In today's video, we are going to go over one of my favorite ways to cook and preserve sweet corn, as well as highlight some of my favorite tools that are helping me save time, money, and energy in my kitchen, especially when it comes to sweet corn. So let's get started. Now, as you hop on, I have got corn already set in my pressure cooker here. This is my deluxe multi-cooker, and we've already dehusked the corn. I ended up with 6.5 dozen ears of sweet corn a few days ago, so we are slowly getting through everything getting processed. And my favorite way to cook it is using this pressure cooker. It is such a game changer in the kitchen for so much more than just this. But if boiling water on the stove is your preferred, that works just as great as well. So I have got 9 ears of sweet corn in the pressure cooker. We are going to add some water. So you want to have at least a cup of water in here. With any pressure cooker, minimum is a cup of liquid. With this many ears of corn, I like to do 2 cups. And all that does is this is going to help with the steaming process. So 2 cups of tap water, 9 ears of corn. Now, something to note, regardless of how many ears of corn, you could have 2 in here or you could fill it up to the top. It's still going to be the same amount of time. So we'll lock the lid and give you a better picture of the screen here. You can see all of the settings. There are so many settings on this pressure cooker. We are going to use this steam setting over here. And we'll do it for 2 minutes. So it takes a few minutes to come up to pressure. But then once it is up to pressure, you only need 2 minutes to cook. So quick and so much easier than staring at that water on the stove waiting for that pot to boil, because that is just the worst. Now, a couple other favorite settings that I love on my pressure cooker are the yogurt setting, which also doubles as a bread proofing. So if you have made your own bread before, drop in the comments what your favorite bread is. And the yogurt setting on this doubles as a proofing, which is really cool. We're using the steam setting right now. That is what I use often to steam fresh veggies. You also have a bean setting, so you can take dried beans, which, bonus tip, dried beans are cheaper than canned beans and they're healthier. So not only are you going to save money by doing dried beans, cooking your own, whether that is on the stove, boiling water, or in your pressure cooker like I do, but it's also healthier. There are less preservatives in the dried beans and so much less sodium than comes in canned products, even if it's a low sodium canned variety. So definitely worth getting those dried beans instead of the canned. So I frequently make black beans and garbanzo beans in here. Garbanzo is also chickpeas, homemade hummus, delicious. But we also have a dessert setting, so you can make cheesecakes and other desserts. It actually comes with starter recipes. So there's a raspberry lemonade cheesecake that we made earlier this summer. So good and so quick and easy in the pressure cooker. Plus, in the summer, you don't have to heat up your oven, so it keeps your house nice and cool. Really awesome. So those are some of my favorite settings with the pressure cooker. If you have your own pressure cooker, what is your favorite thing to make in it? Share it in the comments. I would love to know what some of your favorite recipes are for your pressure cooker. And if you don't have one, I highly encourage you to consider getting one. If you need some recommendations, I would love to hook you up with my personal favorite. But there are so many other ones out there. It's just a matter of finding which one is the right size and has the right settings to fit you and your lifestyle. Aside from the pressure cooker, there are some other tools that are must-haves when it comes to sweet corn season. So with fresh corn on the cob, before we jump into these products, I'm curious, do you prefer your corn on the cob plain, butter, or salt? Drop your vote in the comments. I used to love mine filled with butter and salt, but that was before I discovered the freshly picked sweet corn that we get from our CSA every summer. With this sweet corn, it doesn't need anything. It is so good plain. And because of that, that's why we stock up on our corn pick harvest event, which gives us at least 4 dozen. We also get corn from our weekly CSA, so that's how we ended up with more than 4 dozen right now that we're processing. But one of my favorite tools with that is this kernel cutter. It is such a game changer when it comes to getting those kernels off of the cob. Now, of course, corn on the cob is delicious on the cob, but sometimes you want to be able to preserve it and enjoy those flavors year round. That is where this kernel cutter comes in. So there are some serrated blade right on the end, and this does come with a blade cover to store in your drawer. So very helpful there, especially when digging around. That blade will be protected. But you hold your ear of corn, and just with a swift downward motion, it is going to cut those kernels right off of the cob. So much easier than using an electric knife, which is what my parents would use when I grew up. This is going to be so much easier. Plus, it just gets the kernels, so you don't have to worry about the actual cob coming off with the kernels, and it is so smooth and ready to go. So that's what I use. And then when it comes to preserving it, I like to freeze it in 2-cup increments. So after you get that off the cob, some people prefer to add butter and salt. We just freeze it as is because we enjoy the flavor just like that. Sometimes we'll add in some butter when heating it up later in the middle of winter around the holidays, but we prefer to freeze it plain and then add flavors if we so choose. If you are looking for a fun twist, highly recommend checking out chili lime. It's a nice Mexican twist on corn. So especially if you're a big fan of elote, this is going to be a great option to get those Mexican flavors. Now, the other must-have for corn on the cob are corn holders. Now, these come in a cute little case, which is great for storage, but my favorite are the fact that they are plastic. So it's not the metal pulks like many of you grew up with, just like I grew up with. This is more kid-friendly being plastic. Also, these can go on the cob right away. So put these on your cob and then put them in the boiling water or the pressure cooker, and they're already attached. Because if you were like me, you hate trying to put these in the ends of the cob when the corn cob is ridiculously hot after coming out of the pressure cooker. So nice little tip there. They are heat safe for that. Now it's up to pressure now, so it'll be ready to go in 2 minutes and we will get those kernels off. But if you are ready to get these in your own kitchen reach out to me today. And if you are curious about those wine pairings so you can elevate your next dinner, shoot me a message on social media that says wine, and I will hook you up with my free basic wine and food pairing guide right away today.